Hello, Lisa here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be getting into my August hot takes on upcoming tarot and oracle deck releases. I have a long list as usual and I cannot wait to get into it. Please forgive any background noises you hear. I have my window open and my fan going because it's warm here today. It's summer. Such is the case. At least I don't have to deal with my air conditioner because that's much louder. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and let me tell you a little bit about what hot takes is all about. According to Wikipedia, a hot take is a piece of deliberately provocative commentary that is based almost entirely on shallow moralizing in response to a news story, usually written on tight deadlines with little research or reporting and even less thought. I really love giving my initial impressions of upcoming releases, so I usually focus on decks that are coming out between now and the next time I'll make another one of these videos. So these are decks that are either open for pre-order right now that are independent decks, because those, you never know when the pre-order window is going to close. So I like to cover those, and I also cover mass market decks that are on, say, Amazon, or that you can get at your local bookseller, that are due to ship sometime in the next month, so you can pre-order them now, but they're going to be shipping soon. And Kickstarter or Indiegogo, like crowdfunded projects that are currently funding on their crowdfunding platforms. So those are the decks that I like to cover in this video. So there's usually quite a lot coming out because, of course, as we know, tarot and oracle decks have really just been growing and growing and growing as more and more people are getting into them. I will have links to everything I discuss in the description box down below, so keep an eye on that. If there's anything I mention that you want to go check out yourself, please remember these are literally going to be first impressions style opinions. So I've done no research in advance on these decks. I don't know anything about them unless I personally have already been following them or watching for them. Another fun tidbit about my hot takes videos is I usually put a call out on my community tab on YouTube asking you guys what decks you want to hear my opinions on. So if you're subscribed to the channel, if you have the bell on, all that kind of stuff, you should get the notification when I put that post up every month where I ask you guys what decks you want to hear from me about. So it's always fun to have this curated list of things that you guys are interested in for me to address. All right, with that said, let's get into it. So we're starting off with indie decks, and the first indie deck that I have on my list is the Messages from Her. I believe this is an oracle deck. Let's just see, a 77... No, I'm sorry, I can't read. I don't have my glasses on. A 44 card oracle deck in a keepsake drawstring bag and hardcover guidebook, both housed in a protective magnetic box, printed in vibrant full color with gold foil details in the copper and cream palette. So this is what this one looks like. I'm going to see if I can bring the pictures up a little bit bigger here. That's a pretty bag. Usually the bags are not great in pre-produced stuff, but that's pretty. And the fact that the guidebook is hardbound is really nice. That's really nice production value. I have no idea about the cards yet. I'm just excited about the way it's packaged. That's really beautiful. Real women, real stories, real inspiration. Beyonce, excuse me. Power, love that. Are these all like people, pop culture references? Dolly Parton, Nina Simone, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Cher. This is really cool. Amelia Earhart. What? And each one has the name of the character of the person. And sorry, let me go back to the cards for a second. Each one has the name of the person, this fun poppy artwork, and a keyword, which is really exciting to me personally because you guys know how I feel about oracle decks and like just having a title. Like I want them to have a keyword. Oprah Winfrey, Oprah Winfrey, Divine Channel. That's an interesting keyword. Marie Forleo? Oh my God, I used to follow her on YouTube. That's great. Individuality. I love that. Oops, I'm scrolling. I need to see more. Michelle Obama, Integrity. Serena and Venus Williams, Sisterhood. Madonna, Trailblazer. Yes. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I'm so sorry, Laughter. Erica Badu, Goddess. Gloria Gaynor, Love. I feel like this would be Sandra Day O'Connor come together. I feel like this would be such a great learning deck. There's another deck that was a mass market deck that did this. Is it the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot, or am I thinking of something else? No, I think it was a feminist tarot. I can't remember now. But it did something like this. This feels like it's done very well. And can we talk about the fact that it's $40? $40. Now, that's US dollars, and for me being in the States, or sorry, being in Canada rather, this shipping, assuming from the States, there'd be international shipping and exchange and all that stuff. So it'd still be kind of pricey, but like that's a very reasonable price. Oh, there's a list of all the women featured. So if you want to pause this and get a snapshot of everybody who's in the deck, there's your opportunity. printed on recycled paper and made by workers paid living wages, which is a very interesting and appreciated ethical statement there. This is really pretty cool. I did not know anything about this deck before somebody suggested it, so that's really cool. I'm going to think about this. What I really, really like, let me go back to the guidebook because I kind of accidentally glazed over it quickly. Look at how chunky and meaty this is. So we have Queen Elizabeth, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the card title. Then we have the meaning, femininity, and it talks about that. And then it talks about, let's see, alternate meaning, duration, talks about her history. Now this is what's really interesting because it's not just like slapping these figures on cards and then you just go with it. It's like, here's information about who this is. So I feel like it could be a great learning deck as well. I'm going to keep my eyes on that. That's very interesting to me. So yeah, it's open for pre-order now, due to ship between July and August. Unless I'm mistaking this and it's ready to go now, it does look like shipping August. So I think it's not quite shipping yet, but very soon. So whoever suggested this one, I'm so glad you did because I think this definitely needs to get in front of more eyeballs. I think it's pretty cool. Here's another one that I heard nothing about, the Mike Wilcox Tarot, I guess. I don't think it has an actual name. I think it's just Mike Wilcox's tarot deck. This is really cool. So it says here, pre-order August 1st to 14th. So it's a very small pre-order window and we're right in the middle of it right now as this video is coming out. So you have a chance to grab this first edition. They are due to ship January 2023. So be aware, this is no different really than kickstarting a project. You're going to have a long wait. Because the estimated ship date is January, I'm assuming that these files are going to the printer once the pre-order has concluded. So he gathers a certain amount of sales and then we'll send it off to the printer. With that being the case, there can be delays. So just keep that in mind and be kind. Be kind and be patient when you pre-order stuff because especially if it's like this where he's obviously gathering the resources to be able to send it to the printer first. That being said, I don't know if this is my personal aesthetic, but I feel like this is really cool. So it says each card comes with energetic meanings, fortunes, mantras, and reflections, which is cool. It will have a hardcover book. What is with the indie decks with hardcover books? I feel like that's really evil because you're tempting me. I don't know why. I really love the feeling of a hardcover book. It's just a weird perk that for me that I feel like is really nice. I know lots of people prefer, for reading fiction and stuff, they prefer softcover books because they're easier to carry around and stuff. No, I want that meaty, chunky hardcover. Oh, it feels so luxurious. I don't know. I love it. I don't know. I'm geeking out about the fact that the guidebook's hardcover. Anyways. It says the major arcana were created in tune with the archetypal energies they embody, yet still familiar, you guys. Still familiar enough to be read traditionally if you desire. The oracle cards, I'm sorry, excuse me, hold on, let me back up. 55 card deck. Okay, wait. So this isn't hold on. Slow down. Stop the presses. This is not a 78 card tarot deck. This is a 55 plus 22 is 77, plus 21 is 98, plus 12 is 100. So is 110. So it's a 110 card deck, but it is comprised of 22 major arcana, 21 oracle cards, and 12 zodiac cards. So I guess it doesn't call it, it says tarot and oracle, which is technically accurate because it's a major arcana tarot deck, right? Combined with oracle and zodiac. So we have, I need to look at the art. Okay, so we have the Hierophant, we have the River, the Hermit, the Bell, Leo, the Lovers, the Star, the High Priestess. Okay, so hot take is this. I feel like this is really cool, but I don't know how I would use it. Really cool. So it says the zodiac descriptions have been thoughtfully created based on the archetypal energy of the signs' Greek origin stories and intentionally created to contain only positive aspects. Why only positive? Just curious. Okay, the cards are intended to create a venue for self-reflection, but we need not just positive for self-reflection. Do we not? Yeah. But maybe the major arcana gets into more of that because of course you'd have death and the tower. So maybe I would wish that the description clarified whether the major arcana is going to speak to the more difficult stuff in the guidebook. Since the oracle is going to lean positive, is the tarot going to lean more intense? Is that how it's going to be balanced? Or is it not going to be balanced and the intent is to skew everything positive to boost your, I don't know. I have questions. that's basically where I'm landing with this. I feel like I have questions, but it also looks like a lot of thought has gone into it. The art has this really mystical vibe. This Hierophant is really cool because he looks like the kind of figure who in medieval times would be like standing out studying astronomy and like figuring out life. And so there's some cool stuff here for sure. I really think it's cool. I love that it's a hardbound guidebook. I'm a sucker for a hardbound guidebook, but this is definitely one I would want to learn a lot more about. So really, really interesting. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. But if you've picked it up, let us know down below. Okay, the Black Femme Tarot looks incredible. Now, I was really surprised actually when somebody asked me if I would give my hot take on this. I remember thinking, isn't this already out? Like I felt like I heard a lot about it and then I suddenly wasn't hearing anything. And now, boom, here it is. It's available as a pre-sale. So I'm wondering if maybe there was some kind of delay in getting it out to market because I feel like I was seeing it everywhere for a while it was in process, like being created. And then I feel like I didn't see anything. I'm repeating myself, but do you know what I mean? So I was really excited to see that this is out and available for pre-order. Does she say, yeah, shipping September 2022. So I suspect that these decks are like in production / on their way to her already if they're going to be shipping by September. So let's take a look at it. I remember really liking the artwork before. Look, hello, can we talk about the fact that the sides are pink with like this like 3D prismatic holographic looking edges? Hello? That was such a good design choice for this deck. I can't. I mean, look at this Spirit Guides card. That's got to be a bonus card, right? Yeah. Look at these cards. So let me see what it says here. Hold on. So 350 GSM matte UV cardstock. So if you're familiar with matte UV, often has a crispy. I heard somebody describe it. I think it was Holly who created the Holly of Deviant Witch who created the shuffle deck. She called it crispy cardstock, but it has that kind of snappy feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't have that kind of like silky feeling. Anyway, crispy cardstock. I don't know how to describe it. It slides really nicely. It doesn't clump up. It's really beautiful to fan and shuffle in. Anyway, matte magnetic box, mini guidebook printed on matte paper. So it is an 82 card deck with 4 additional cards added onto the classic tarot system of 78 cards. Very clear. I love that. Follows traditional Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism and structure. The Black Femme Tarot's cheerful, colorful art breathes life into the sometimes dreary depictions of traditional tarot and gives it a modern update. Seriously, I love this. I love how, look at the wands, how they're all bordered in orange. I'm guessing that means we're color coded. Yeah, the majors are pink. Living for this. Love this. Like, truly love this. I want more. No. I want more cards. Hold on. Let's go back. There's got to be another picture showing us the other suits. So we see the majors are pink. We see the wands are orange. I want to know for sure. I'm sure there's a way to find out. It is pricey. So if I were to buy this, pre-order this right now, it would be $90.17 Canadian. And then the shipping, where's the shipping? Is $28 Canadian. So this deck would cost me about $130. No, I guess that's not good math. $120, which is a lot. I'm going to wait and just wait for like flip throughs and stuff. But I have to say, I really adore this art style. I really like the body representation in here. I love the pink and the purple and the vibes of it. I really like this. So you have an opportunity to snap it up. Don't let my $90 Canadian price tag scare you. It's obviously going to be lower in the States. Our exchange rate is, about 30% higher than the US dollar or so. So sometimes 35% or 40%, depending on how things are going. So yeah, maybe that's one to snap up for sure. It does come with a guidebook. I feel like there's nothing else I can say besides it looks really pretty. All right, I gotta move on. I'm gonna move on for now, but I'll be revisiting this one for sure. First of all, how wonderful is this timing? And I don't know why, but Stephanie has launched the mini Oak, Ash, and Thorn pre-order right now, and she's having a shop-wide sale. So like really good time to scoop up this mini adorable deck. I have it already because I have a prototype. So let me just take a break and go back to full screen for a second. So my copy, let me get it out of its container here. I've got it in a peggy bag. So I think this is the cutest thing. I am mildly tempted actually to, I don't know. Okay, so I really like the full size. Ooh, I really like the full size. I really like having it in this size. I feel like this is a deck that really performs really well in larger spreads like a Celtic Cross. I feel like the suits are very, very easy to see with a bunch of cards on the screen. Like oh, are we blurry? Hello? There we go. I feel like it's really easy to see if you've got a wands, cups, swords. They're all very moody for they all kind of match, right? Like the colors match, the theming matches, the animals. So you have foxes and the wands, crows and the swords, right? So you get this like very cohesive feeling. And so it works great in bigger spreads. So I really have been using it, I think, more in this mini version than I've been using my full size. And I'm like, do I need to keep my mini and like rehome my full size? But I could not do that. I could not do that. That's not happening. So I'm just going to have 2 copies of this deck, and that's just the way it's going to be. But 29, what is that, pounds sterling? I feel like that's a steal. That's the sale price. So yeah, like when is it going to ship? January 2023. So the pre-order's open now. And I mean, I'm just saying I think it's worth it. I know some people have talked about international shipping. Stephanie is over in the UK, of course. So I can't remember exactly where, but she's over there. So there will be international shipping. That doesn't ever hit me the same way it hits other people like that are in the States, because I pay international shipping for basically everything. So I'm so used to it. But yeah, not that it's great. Like I totally get it. But actually, I think there was somebody in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group that was working on organizing a group purchase so that they could maybe save on shipping together. So anyway, I think this is a steal. I think you should snap it up. That's my opinion if you're drawn to it and if you think you would use it in this format. I think there might be concern about the Oak, Ash, and Thorn being hard to see the small details on these smaller cards, but they're not like tiny, right? Like they're not so small. Like here's a standard and here's the mini, right? Like it's like, you know, it's bigger than poker size. Like it's taller than poker size, I feel like, but it still has that tarot shape. I didn't find the details. I have not great eyes. I should be wearing reading glasses a lot of the time, and I haven't had any trouble seeing the details or seeing what's happening on the card. And I think that's because the picture works as a cohesive whole. I don't feel like I'm having to parse out little tiny details, if that makes any sense. I might be babbling, but I like it. I mean, I'm just going to say I'm a fan. So there's that. Okay, next up is the Spirit of the Cosmos Tarot Deck Bundle. I'm going to have to read about this because I don't know what the bundle is, but I have thoughts about this, and I don't know what my thoughts precisely are other than this was a Kickstarter. And so I remember being confused when somebody suggested it, and I went to look it up, and then I found the Kickstarter, but then the Kickstarter said that the funding had been canceled by the creator, which, again, confusing. So they are pre-ordering 1,000 copies of this deck on their website. So I will have that link down below. So you can pre-order it now. It is available February, so it's probably not shipping till January, February. Says could be sooner. I'd always assume longer. That's just managing my own expectations. We'll get into the deck itself, but I wanted to mention that I did see this in advance. This is something where I didn't like research it, but when I couldn't find the right link and I got confused, I wanted to make sure it was all about, you know, up and up. So what she says here is, why did it move from Kickstarter to your website? After just 2 weeks on Kickstarter, I found an investor who wants to back the deck entirely, so there was no longer a need to crowdfund. This was an excellent turnaround, as we can now keep the costs down and send the orders to print faster. So I'm assuming then the price is cheaper than it would have been on Kickstarter. It does mention that the cardstock will be 310 GSM or 330 GSM. Not knowing which of those it's going to be, I will say that 310 can feel really thin in my experience. That might be great. Some of you guys really will like a 310 GSM deck because it will shuffle really, really nicely. A standard, for reference, a standard make playing card style deck is 330 GSM. So I would keep that in mind. There is a thinner cardstock you can get from Make Playing Cards that is 310. And if the core is good, it can still feel really nice. So I wouldn't assume it's going to feel bad, but I would just keep in mind it's going to be on the thinner side, which if you do like that, that's a great, exciting thing. It's going to be printed in the US, which is great. Let's talk about the deck itself. I feel like I remember seeing this somewhere. It has this very glowy effect, but the thing that stands out to me from the artwork, like I wish there was better images of the cards, because I feel like we only get this one image. It does have the astrological associations on the cards, which is cool. But then we get all these cards, pictures of the cards under black light, which that's cool. But in all honesty, I don't have a black light. I'm not going to be reading tarot under a black light. And I'm sure there are people that would really appeal to, but it's just not my shtick. So not something that's specifically any kind of a perk for me personally. There's a bunch of stuff here around an online tarot course. There's some timeline information. I'm not going to dig into this too deep. Art style wise, I think at first glance, it looks nice. I just wouldn't be able to make a decision without seeing a whole heck of a lot more cards to know what the overall aesthetic of the deck is. But this Emperor looks really cool. He's just really him and the Strength card. This, oh, I wish it would just let me stay on the picture. The Strength card also looks really cool. It definitely has an astrological looking bent to it. But again, only seeing a couple cards, it's really hard to decide how I feel about it. So for me, I would wait for it to come out and then decide. But yay for it being an affordable price. It's $48 US plus shipping to pre-order. So check that one out if you're into it. Let's talk about some Kickstarters. So the Pink Sugar and Black Salt Lenormand decks were highly requested, which is super awesome. And it's nearly at goal at the time I'm filming this with only 4 days to go. When you guys are seeing this, it will have only a few days to go. So maybe 2 or 3, I'm guessing, because this video comes out on Tuesday. It says 4 days to go, but you have until Friday at 7 a.m. To back this one. So check it out. It's already got 97 backers, which is amazing. So this is by Logan, who is the creator of... We're going to cheat. The creator of the Lark and Legend deck. The Precious Possum was the one I remembered. I didn't know about the Halloween pins. That's kind of fun. Anyway, so Logan has created several decks already on this platform, and I've never heard any negative feedback about his projects, which is great. Is that rainbow holographic? Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't expect that. I knew this was pink and black, so I think you've got an option for the pink version or the black version or both, I'm assuming. So the Pink Sugar or the Black Salt Lenormand. I did not know it was rainbow holographic, though, so now I feel a little bit, like, not duped, like, tempted and unexpectedly tempted. I don't really need any Lenormand decks right now, which is the only reason I am hesitating on this, because this looks really beautiful. It's got that this really funky, almost like origami, like the swans almost look like they could have been folded out of origami paper. Does that make sense? It's got this kind of flat, kind of modern... not dimensional, like angular, I guess, style to the artwork, which is super cool. Is the tower a cat tree? A cat's scratching tree thing? That's kind of funny. Black Salt is real striking, not gonna lie. I love that it's a duster instead of a broom, but the meaning comes across the same. I'm sorry, is the child a Game Boy? Hold on. The images are changing. This is really cute, you guys. This is really cute. Lilies. I'm sorry, what? Okay, I want to get back to the... Is that I'm sorry, hold on. Is this like just 90s vibes right now? Like, hold on. Did you guys see that? Wait. Wait. Okay, so the child was a Game Boy. I was right about that. The garden is a fountain. That's cute. I loved the dog. The dog was cute too. Oh my god, it's going so fast. Okay, hold on. I'm saying hold on like I can make the computer slow down. Yeah, burden is Tamagotchi, so that's normally like the cross. I think that's amazing because, of course, if you don't take care of your Tamagotchi, it dies. It's such 90s vibes. The nostalgia of that really makes me happy. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is really cute. This is really cute. I do not need this. And I've been kind of brutal about decluttering my Lenormand decks lately because I don't need variety in that category. There are Lenormand decks that are beautiful, and I'm always like, I want it, but I don't need it. And there's a couple go-to Lenormand decks that I always reach for when I want to read Lenormand, so I'm like, it just sits on my shelf, and then it just becomes a thing that I don't use. So I'm not going to jump on this right now, but I'm very excited for Logan that the skates too, such 90s vibes. But anyways, I'm very excited for Lenormand. I'm very excited for Logan that this is very nearly backed. I think it's definitely going to make its goal. If you want this, what are the prices? I didn't even look. Oh my god, is there still early bird? How is that still possible? Oh my god, there's only one early bird at the time I'm filming this. It'll probably be gone by the time you see it, but there's one early bird pink available, which is hilarious. Those usually are gone way before. I'm guessing somebody changed their pledge, so an early bird is now available. Yeah, so you can get the Black Salt, or how much is it, just out of curiosity? Okay, so it's 39 US. It changed on, wait, no, it's 57 US with Canadian shipping, so it's less than that for one deck in the US by about 30% plus shipping differences. Because, yeah, it's only like $8 to ship in the US. Anyways, okay, I'm just pointing out it's not that expensive. And you can order 2 pink, 2 black, 1 pink, 1 black. I'm assuming you can order pink and black combo. Yes, there it is. So, like, take a look. Especially, seriously, though, the 90s vibes are real in this one. Like, actually. So our next one is the Seven Seas Lenormand. Why does it have to be another Lenormand? And it's an oceany themed one. Dang it. This one is already funded, but it had quite a low goal. It's got a few days left to go. You have also until Friday, but this time you have until Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time to back this one if you're interested in it. Can I just remind you guys, though, when I say that, I don't want to introduce the idea that, like, if you don't get it by 3 p.m. Friday, you can't get it at all ever. Most of these independent decks that fund on Kickstarter, they fund on Kickstarter, they go send their files off to print. I'm not saying every single one, so if you're not sure, always feel free to contact the creator. But my experience has been that these decks need the crowdfunding initially to fund the print run. But once they reach their goal, they will often order extra copies that they then will sell once the order all comes in. They'll send off to Kickstarter backers. They'll have a small pre-order period for their extra decks. So don't ever feel like I shouldn't say don't ever, but in 99% of the cases, you should not feel like if you don't back it during the period on Kickstarter that you can't have it ever. I think that's really a good thing to remind everybody of, because it can be really easy to think, oh, if I don't buy it now, I can't have it ever, ever, ever. Not usually the case. Not usually the case. So what I've done in the past, when I want to watch a project, but I don't want to back it on Kickstarter, it's already funded, I don't necessarily know if I want it or not yet, is I will follow the creator. So I will click on their little profile. So here we have Eva Sawyer, and I'll look for her social media. So if she has a Facebook, or here she's got a website listed, Facebook, Etsy, and I'll go follow them, and I'll keep an eye out for when they have some available. And by that point, I'll see if there's any reviews out, if anybody has copies, if there's more pictures, whatever it is I'm waiting to find out, I'll find out then. And then I'll decide if I want to back it or not. Mini rant over. I just wanted to remind that when I mentioned the deadline for the Kickstarter, it's just if you want to be a Kickstarter backer, or if you feel like you need to support it so that it can fund and you want to have it, those kinds of things. So anyways, back on track. This creator has a bunch of past decks they've created. It looks like they've got a little listing of them here, which is cool. Gotta say, I really dig the message in a bottle. This artwork is so fun. Okay, this is so tiny, though. I know they have to do this so people don't steal their artwork, but, like, it's fun. It's very, like, adventure-y. Look at these ones. They look like map pieces. This has got a very, like... This reminds me of, like, an ocean-themed role-playing game. Or board game. Yeah. It's totally got those vibes to me. Like, in a good way. Like, in a really good way. Look at this little book. It's so cute. Okay. There's some good stretch goals to upgrade the cardstock. So at 2800, they're going to upgrade the cardstock to Superior Smooth 33. So this one will be a thinner cardstock to start with, unless it meets that stretch goal, just to note. But anyways, details aside, super fun. Love the ocean theme. I'll keep my eyes on this one. I'm not going to back another Lenormand right now because, again, see previous with Logan's decks. I'm just not in a position where I want to bring more Lenormand in, but this is really cute. Into the Void, the Black Cat Tarot. So this one is also finished funding on Friday morning, so you have until 6:44 a.m. on Friday to back this one. What does it say here? Whoever said black cats bring bad luck never met a black cat, and this cute illustrated deck proves it. Tarot deck proves it. Okay. So it's got... this is cute. So look at... Oh my gosh, look at the Nine of Wands with the, like, cat, like, dangling from the branch and, like, a bandage over its eye. Poor thing. Oh my gosh. This is really cute. The backs are a little chaotic for me personally. It is really fun with the black, white, and gold, and it really works for black cats because you get the yellow of their eyes and then the white for the outlining. This is adorable. I had a black cat. His name was Baylor, and he was awesome, and then he was a terror in his senior years. But, yeah. This is cute. I don't have a lot to say on this one because I'm not really personally into cat decks, but it is already well past its funding goal, which is amazing. So the deck will be happening for sure. And I encourage you to check out the Kickstarter if you are like a fan of black cats, if you like the vibes of this deck. It does look cute. Okay, the next one is the Song of the Grandmother's Oracle deck. And y'all know I have definitely researched this because I received a prototype deck and made an entire dedicated video about it. I have my prototype copy here. This deck is real pretty. It's real pretty. So I have my copy. I'm just going to switch to full screen and show you my cards. I will try to remember also to link in the cards. I will try to also remember to link in the cards my video, my full walkthrough for this deck. But I really fell hard for this one. There's Grandma Willow. I love the vibe of this whole deck. It's a nature deck. What's beautiful about it to me is that it has all aspects of nature. Well, I shouldn't say all, but it has aspects from lots of different types of nature. So you have herbs, flowers, animals, sea creatures, birds, stones, acts of nature like parts of nature, like here we have Grandmother Time, right? Or there's like a desert card in here, a lake card, a volcano card. There's a tornado card. It covers this like wide range of the natural world, which I don't think another deck has done quite so successfully in the past, and just that is amazing. It's illustrated by Mari in the Sky, who illustrated the Gentle Tarot. So of course, if you haven't loved the Gentle Tarot, you know you'll love this artwork. And then there are haikus on every single card, which I feel like just give you this other intuitive jumping off point. But there's also like the name of the creature. So here we have Grandmother Spider and a keyword, creativity. This deck ticks all of my personal boxes for what I want to see in an Oracle deck that's just really, really usable. And I am head over heels. Plus the backs are just... They're just beautiful. Okay, let me flip back to the, screen where you can see the Kickstarter. But I'm a big fan, so I'm definitely biased, I suppose you could say. And it looks like, oh, have they reached all these stretch goals? Okay, hold on. Let's talk about stretch goals for a second, because that's exciting. Because my prototype is just like a quickie print, right, that they can do so that I can, look at the cards and show them to you guys. But the final version looks like it's going to have gold matte edges, a gold foil stamp on the box front, and a spread card, which is awesome. Oh, I'm excited about that. And what else is coming? Okay, so live meditation journeys. There's more stretch goals. Oh my gosh, wait, have they reached? Hold on. They've just reached, they probably don't even know yet. They've just reached the live meditation journey with Kara and Raven, which is amazing. Coloring pages? Excuse me? I want coloring pages. Okay, so we need to get this continued to fund. Are these, I don't remember do I remember the octopus card? I don't remember the octopus card. I'm sure it's right here. It's right here. I got excited. I'm really excited actually, because at the time I'm filming this video, I'm going to be working with this deck in my personal practice. So I'm kind of like geeking out on it at this particular moment. So that's kind of a fun timing thing. But yeah, this is open to back. Again, you will be able to get this after the Kickstarter, I'm quite sure. So don't panic if it's like not the right time or you want to see more stuff first. Take your time. Don't feel rushed. But I think this is a very, very well done, beautiful deck, and I'm really excited to get my hands on the guidebook. I did not peek at the digital file of the guidebook that was shared with me for the prototype Kickstarter, because I really, really wanted to see what it was like to take the deck in and work with it without that, because that is usually how I work with Oracle decks. For whatever reason, when it comes, there's a few Oracle decks I'll use their guidebooks, but I use Oracle decks the most when I don't feel reliant on the guidebook. So anyways, I'm babbling. I'm very excited about this deck, in case it doesn't show. I'm going to move on now, because I think my point has been made, but it's pretty. That's all I'm going to say. I don't even remember putting this deck on the list. Like, I don't even remember seeing somebody ask for this, and then, like, the name doesn't look familiar, but somehow it's here, and it's on my list, so we're going to talk about it. This is Tarot Form, a minimalist, space-themed tarot deck. So it says, Tarot Form was created from the love of gradients, sunsets, minimalism, and the desire to bring something digital to the physical realm. It says it was funded within 9 hours. That's amazing. It's well over its goal, has 69 backers, and you have until Friday, August 12th at 6 a.m. Okay, so Friday was like a really popular day to close Kickstarters. I feel like, because like everything so far, I feel like is ending on Friday, which is interesting. That's all I'm going to say about that. So this looks really vibrant, which of course you guys know I'm a sucker for color, and this has tons of color. I hate the font. Now I get it. It's definitely thematically appropriate for the theme of this deck, which is very futury, spacey, but it's just not as clear of a font. Like the Hermit card, like, I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh my gosh, the zoom is real. It's like, I can tell that says Hermit, but I have to think about it for a split second, and I don't like that. Same thing with this. I think this is this Fortune? It's supposed to be the Wheel of Fortune. It's got the moon phases, which is super cool. But yeah, I don't like the font. And it might look better up close and in a bigger card, but at a distance, I don't like the font. I don't like the font. It's a silly thing to be nitpicky over, but it is a thing. It is a thing. It does have a very minimalist, abstract feel, but it's pretty and it's very vibrant. So if you like that kind of minimalist, abstract kind of art, I don't love the way the minors are though, because they're fun and they're abstract, but they seem really abstract, and they seem, I don't know how it would feel if I had a whole bunch of those on the table all at once for a reading. Do you know? Also, the borders are huge, and I'm not trying to pick on the deck, I swear. These are just hot takes. These are just personal things that I'm not as fond of, personally. I said personal a lot, but hopefully you get the idea. This is me coming from a me place. I'm not telling you what you should like or what, is good. I'm just saying, it looks like a sea of abstract, cool sci-fi art to me, which is, does that say suit of satellites and suit of quasars? This has got a fun theme. Yeah, see, there's a slightly bigger one, and it's a little easier to read. It's all the dots, I think, are throwing me off. I'm not fond of, and I'm not a fan of the big borders and the font. Still not a fan of the font. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. But that said, it's funded, and I know this is going to be up a lot of people's alleys, so don't be afraid to check it out if you're into it, just because it's not my thing. That's cool. I'm very excited for the creator that it is funded, though. History of Music Tarot. Well, I'm out because there's a David Bowie card right there, and I never got into David Bowie. I'm not a David Bowie person. I know like half of you just unsubscribed who are from my generation, but like it never clicked. I tried to watch The Labyrinth more recently. Oh my God, is that Poison? Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. There's some fun nostalgia in here, but I'll be honest, I was very sheltered as a child, very sheltered. And so I do not connect a lot of these faces unless I had the actual album in my home, like, or CD cover, whatever. Unless I had it in my home, I'm not likely to recognize a lot of them. But they're titled, so that's cool. I don't know how I feel about this. I think if you're really, really into music, this could be a really fun deck, but I would have no way to know how these associate with the tarot. Do you know what I mean? Let's take a look at it's a sea of people, which is also not something I'm sure I like how that feels. Like, it's very like profiles. I don't know how to describe what I'm thinking. Does anybody know what I mean? I feel like if I put this on the table, it'd be like almost like putting down a bunch of posters. Maybe this is me flashing back to like the Bopper. Does anybody remember the Bopper and the Big Bopper? I think it was called the... Nobody's going to know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. It was a magazine. They still have these now, I'm sure. But for like young, like preteen teens, for preteens and teens, there was a magazine called, I'm pretty sure it was called The Bopper and the Big Bopper. The Big Bopper was the thicker version. I hope I'm not getting that wrong because I'm going to sound really silly if I'm saying it wrong. But anyways, it was a magazine filled, just packed with tons and tons of pictures of pop culture people, music, people from TV and movies that were popular, heartthrob kind of stuff. So it was really common to like pull out the posters and put them on your bedroom wall, and it was like a big thing in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know how long that carried through, but it was a big thing. Anyways, this is what this reminds me of. So there's a fun little nostalgia in like looking at the campaign, and I think that's probably where it stops for me. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Some of you guys might be really into this. Let me know. You still have 6 days. It's quite low on the funding goal. It hasn't really gotten a lot of traction, and I don't know why, because again, I'm not good with pop culture references, so I don't know. Would love your feedback though. I'm curious if you guys have opinions on why it's not doing better. Like, is it the associations and how they are, or is it just like, I don't know. The art style's cool though. Y'all, I wish I loved lizards. I mean, I like them. I like lizards. I like snakes. I like all that kind of stuff. No issues with lizards. Like, I'm not afraid of lizards. But this deck is so dang cute and colorful, it makes me want to like them more than I do, if that makes any sense. This is the funny little lizard tarot. Oh, come on. It's got 10 days to go. It's got to reach its funding goal because it's a very well done looking deck. Bright, colorful, right on with its lizardy theme. And I love it. I love how the 5 of Wands over here is like they're fighting over the worms here. They're like, who's going to get which worm? Because there's only there's 4 worms and there's 5 lizards. It's like a game of musical chairs, but with worms and lizards. Anyway, I really think this is super cute. I do, and I love the backs. The backs are amazing. This is great. Frankly, it's great. I just don't know lizards enough, and particularly bonded lizards enough to be overly interested in getting this for myself. But if you have a pet lizard or you're into lizards, you might want to check this one out. The 78 Tarot Magical Tarot Deck and Companion Oracle is insanely well funded at this particular moment with 790 backers and 10 days to go. This, I'm tempted to change my pledge. Oh, spoiler alert. I totally backed this. I backed it for the 2 pocket decks. Okay, let me think about this. Let me grab my other 78 tarot. Let me see if I can, before we get into the campaign, let me see if I can talk you through. I'm going to go on full screen for a second. Okay, let me see if I can talk you through my feelings, my thoughts in a coherent way. So I have one 78 tarot deck already that I got at the first time I went to the Northwest Tarot Symposium. I got my copy signed. It's amazing. And this is the 78 Tarot Mythical. And I freaking love this deck. I really, truly do. I don't use it as much as I want to, but I do really, truly love it. It's a collab deck, though. And historically, I don't do that great with collab decks. I tend to not get along with them once I have them in my hands for a while. But the mythological was just, it was so beautifully done. And the themes are great. Every single card in the 78 Tarot mythological has a wonderful theme. Because it's all mythology, so that's super fun. And the guidebook is fantastic. It's like a chunker. It fits right in the box with the deck. It's amazing. It's got like my favorite kind of like wraparound box, except it doesn't, it wraps here. I like it when it goes all the way down to the bottom and then opens. I'm just saying. Anyways, love this. Their decks are a little bit oversized. So they're bigger than a standard tarot deck. So that's something to keep in mind. It does make it a little bit more difficult to shuffle, even though I have other decks that size, but it's gorgeous. When I first saw the promo, I spotted this particular unicorn card, which is the star. And I about lost my damn mind because and you guys, I hope, will one day hear a lot more about this from me. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. But I will say that particular unicorn is in the correct style for me personally. I'm very picky about classical unicorns. They have the lion's tail. There's more details, but this one gets it pretty right. And I got really excited seeing that. And it was like, I'm gonna definitely pick this up. And then I watched the video and I went through all of the cards and I was like, okay, I really do like it. And this is the first time they've done, as far as I know, a tarot and oracle deck combination. So there's the 78 Tarot Magical, and then there's this oracle deck, which is like all the like witches' tools and stuff. I don't know how else to describe it. So here's the world card. We have this pirate. The magic theme is very exciting to me. But then the oracle deck is going to have like all these different components, like potion, cauldron. So it's titles, not keywords, which you guys already know how I feel about that. I want keywords. So I'm like, And then the backing up. The oracle deck, I'm like, I don't know how much I'll use it, but I'm not going to back the tarot and not back the oracle because, you know, they're like a set and it's a thing. So then I was thinking through it and I was looking at the pricing and I was like, I don't know. Am I going to use this? I mean, look at this bones card. It's a unicorn skull in the bones card. I mean, I feel like this is really, really, really well done. But I was like thinking to myself, but will I use it? Or do I just want to like have it? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just wanting it to have it. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is where I'm struggling, because what I ended up doing is I backed the Dwarf's Delight Pledge, which is for the Pocket Tarot and the Pocket Oracle, because they do have that as an option this time. So let me see if I can bring you down to what that looks like. Oh my gosh, those cards are so pretty. Oh, sorry, let me back up. If you don't know, if I've just been babbling about this, assuming everybody knows everything, the 78 Tarot, the whole point, I mentioned it was a collab deck. The whole point is that it's 78 different artists, well, more than that, because they usually have a couple bonus cards, all collaborate to each create a card for the deck, which is very, very cool. It also means that the decks are always limited. It doesn't mean you can't get it after the Kickstarter. There's usually a few extra for sale after, as I said before, but once the first print run has sold out, they do not reprint because they have arrangements with all of these artists to pay them for their work. And the license agreement is like, hey, we're going to do this once, you know? So if you find a 78 tarot deck that you like and you like it, if you like it, this is definitely one where you don't want to wait and wait and wait, because if it does go completely out of stock, it's not going to be reprinted. That's just a caveat. Again, not trying to create FOMO, just letting you know that's kind of how it goes. Some of the 78 tarot decks have been available for a long time after the campaign, some less time. It just depends. But anyways, I wanted to get the part about what a 78 tarot deck is first. And I love a lot of these cards, but again, a lot of them, I don't know, will I use it? And I'm kind of thinking I have one full size 78 tarot. So they have this pocket size, and I was like, well, maybe I'll use the pocket size more than I would use the full size. And I love the backs. I love them. I love them. I love the box. I love the theme. I love all of it. I love all of it. And the Oracle deck, so the Tarot deck will be gilded in this like antiqued gold, and the Oracle deck in this beautiful bronze color. But they have pocket versions. And so this is what I was thinking. The pocket version is 2 by 3.5 inches, which I think is going to be kind of similar to the size of my mini Oak, Ash, and Thorn. But they're going to be 300 GSM, so they're going to be thin. I think I can't remember what the cardstock is on the mini Oak, Ash, and Thorn. I can't remember. So there's that. I'm like, ugh. So is it going to be too thin? Like, am I going to use it? But then the guidebook is bigger this time and separate. I don't know. Part of me is like, do I upgrade and then also get the mini? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I feel like I would use this deck probably more. I feel like I'd probably use it more in the pocket size. The pocket size would be coming with PDF guidebooks only. I wouldn't be getting the full-size guidebooks. There is, I think, one pledge on here where you can get the pockets and get the full-size guidebooks. I just don't know what to do. I'm definitely getting it. And right now I'm getting it just 2 minis and just leaving it there. Because it does get quite pricey. Like, just for me to get the 2 minis is going to cost me 72 Canadian plus shipping, so about $100. So $100 for both decks. They'll both be the same size. They'll both be mini. I feel like that's the most practical choice. I don't know. I'm just bringing you with me with my agonizing. I still have how much time? How much time do we have to take part in this magical magic? Magical magic. How much time? Come on, back to the top. Hello? Oh, there we go. We have until Thursday, August 18th at 10:20 in the morning to decide. I don't know. I'm torn. Maybe I should just add on one full-size tarot. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Please weigh in with your advice below. I'm torn. All right. I'm going to move on, though, because I can't stop agonizing. So I'm moving on. Next. Okay, this one is actually, just at first glance, really freaking cool. This is the Beautiful Beasts Tarot. It's a 78-card tarot deck celebrating the magic and beauty of animals paired with classic tarot imagery. But it's pretty clear that instead of showing the animal... I'm sorry, I just got really excited about the Six of Swords because that's the most unique Six of Swords I've seen in a very long time, which I'll talk about in a second. But instead of showing the animal, they're close up on like the fur or the feathers or whatever of the animal, which I think is really a unique, literally it's a unique perspective on both the tarot, but also on animal energy, which I think is really cool. The Six of Swords grabbed my attention because it shows a golden chain, 3 swords on one side, 3 swords on the other, and the chain is being broken. And why that's exciting to me, and it's a bird. So we get this idea of the wings, like the bird's been chained, the chain has been broken, and it's about to fly free. It's really an interesting perspective on the Six of Swords that is really thoughtful and unique. I'm really excited about that. That makes me want to look at the entire thing much more closely. The card on the left, the Sun card, it's like we're getting a very close up of just the side of where the horse is with the horse's mane. It's a really cool perspective. Let's see what the rest of the deck looks like, but this is really cool. Okay, so here we have, oh my gosh, I need to make this bigger. So the Page of Cups is like the tail of a betta fish. The Five of Wands, I can't tell what that is. That one's a little bit of a bummer because I can't tell. But you do get the black and the white fur as if 2 maybe wolves are clashing or something. It really opens up opportunity for your imagination to kind of, flow with it, which is so interesting. The High Priestess looks like it's a crescent moon charm wrapped around an owl. This is really, really interesting. Yeah, the Ace of Swords, those look like crow feathers. Yeah, there's the High Priestess. Yeah, that's got to be an owl. Yeah, there's the side of the face, her face. The Death card, those look like maybe bones. I'm so fascinated by this. The Temperance card is gorgeous. This looks like maybe it could be, I don't know. Could those be angel wings? I suppose they could be. I want to see more. No. I want to see more. Okay, phew. Six of Wands, we have peacock feathers. Yes. I mean, I really like this. The Seven of Wands, are those porcupine quills? Those are porcupine quills, I'm pretty sure. I think this is so intelligent and so exciting. I want to see more cards. Oh, here we go. Oh, yay. Oh, we get to see so many. Okay, good. So, the Magician, I want to say that looks like maybe moth wings. And you guys, I'm terrible at animal identification, but there's something about this that feels really spectacular. The Three of Cups looks like the tails of maybe 3 goldfish or something. They're kind of brushing up against each other. The Eight of Cups, there's like, I hope there's got to be a guidebook. Please tell me there's a guidebook. I'll check in a second. I just think this is really, really interesting. Okay, so this is a bummer, though. Oh, no. Because I really like this. Like, a lot. The creator does say they currently have 25 of the 78 designs completed by the start of the campaign and aim to have them all finished as soon as possible so I can get the deck into your hands. That is a concern, unfortunately, because this means that these are the only cards that are done. I really, truly, really like this. Ouch on the shipping. Oh no, 20 Canadian for... Is this a Canadian creator? Because it's all listed in Canadian dollars. It's got to be. This has got to be a Canadian creator. I want to know, is there a book? Because this one would really need a book. I'm going to control F, if I could spell, and see if... Okay, each tarot deck comes with an included guidebook that fits inside the box explaining the upright and reverse meaning of each card. 350 GSM art stock. That's going to be a coreless art paper. The Okesh and Thorn, other good decks are made out of art paper, but it will be coreless. You should know that if it's art paper, which I assume that's what that means. And gorgeous silky matte. Oh, it sounds so good. It really does sound good. It's really, really beautiful. I want this. I'm not sure I have the patience to wait. I suspect that's the only reason this is not fully funded so far. And it's actually a relatively new campaign. We have until Thursday, August 25th at 5 a.m. to back it. So there's lots of time. I wonder if there are there's no updates yet. There's 0 updates. So I'd want to see some updates from the creator. Is there anything here on timeline? No. Let's see here. Does it say something? So estimated ship is February 2023. Like I said, my concern is that the art's not done. So 25 out of 78 is about a third, if I'm correct with my math. Yeah, 26. Yeah, that's about a third. So there's 2/3 of the deck yet to create. It's gorgeous. I really am excited about this. I think it's really unique and special. I'm going to hit the remind me button and just see if there's updates from the creator later on that give us more about the progress of the project and the artwork. The creator is in Winnipeg. Yeah, so they're Canadian. I've hit the save button. I've hit the save button. And I don't know if you know this, but when you do this, you will get an email. If you check the email associated with your Kickstarter, you'll get an email shortly before the campaign ends reminding you that you are running out of time to back it in case you want to back it. But I think if the art was complete on this or near completion, I think this would have funded and overfunded. Honestly, I think it's really, really special. So we'll see with only a third of the art completed how it progresses. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Because we assume that with a Kickstarter, we're helping somebody to fund the thing and do the thing. But actually with Kickstarter, I think nowadays we expect the thing is done. It's just not a physical product yet. And so we're funding it to go become a physical product, but we don't necessarily want to wait through the whole art creation process. And we don't know how long that's going to take. So that part's a risk with this campaign, which is why I'm going to hold off for now. But I am really going to keep an eye on this. And if there's more updates or the art has made progress by then we'll see, right? And the next one is the Mushroom Medicine Oracle deck. I have no affinity to mushrooms. This is not a teaser. This is not tempting for me personally, but it's cool. I know there's actually quite a few people who are super into mushrooms, and this looks like it's going to have, it's going to be printed by Shuffled Ink. It's going to have photos of the mushrooms, and then it looks like the cards have, where's an example of a card? Here we go. So we have a photo of the mushroom, we have the name of the mushroom as well as its botanical, like Latin name, whatever the botanical name is, some keywords, and a whole description written right on the card, which is super cool. You guys know that ticks a lot of boxes for me. I'm just not into the mushroom thing. The mushroom thing is not my thing, but that's really cool. The deck itself is already nearly funded with 27 days to go, so I have a feeling this one will meet its goal, which is amazing. You have until Sunday, September 4th at 8:56 a.m. Pacific to back it. And what does it say at the top? Fungi Oracle, journey into a rite of passage through transition, grief, and transformation back into connection, integration, and wholeness. That's beautiful. Also, can we talk about the mushroom hat? Yeah, amazing. Amazing. I know that mushroom medicine is like a big thing for a lot of people. It's just not something that I'm knowledgeable about or have a whole lot of interest in getting into at this particular moment, but it's cool. The Weird Oracle deck. I said that right? It's weird, right? A 54-card mysterious and sensual oracle deck for those who are not afraid to delve into the unharnessed aspect of the sacred feminine. I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like I have plenty of decks that do the sacred feminine thing. So already that's probably like, I probably don't need anything else in that genre. Is it holographic? Why is it all slightly different color? Do you see what I'm seeing? The color shift? Is that it looks like they're holographic. Do you guys see what I mean? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's just a trick of the light. The backs are really interesting. I think that's meant to symbolize the web of weird, which would make sense. Yeah, Yeah, do you guys see the rainbow thing? It's all black and white, so it's not tempting me artistically because, of course, I'm all into... Okay, that now, come on now. Yeah, okay. This confirms it. The hollow film really pops out under the artificial or the candlelight in the evening. So they're black and white, but they'll have a holographic coating, which is super fun. I feel like if you're going to have a black and white deck, adding a hollow coating is like a really smart choice for those of us who really like color. I feel like I'm losing my shirt. My shirt is like getting further and further down as I film this video. Okay, so the sparkly, I mean, this art is really pretty. It's not for me. I'll leave it there. It's not for me, but I think that it's really neat. And I like shiny things, so there's that. There's that for sure. The Dream Vision Tarot 2nd edition. This is basically an honorable mention because I have given a lot of airtime on the channel to the Dream Vision Tarot. I love it. I have the 1st edition right here. So let's go full screen. I'll quickly show you my 1st edition. I love this deck. This is what the box on the 1st edition looked like. It did not come with a guidebook. And the artwork is really vibrant and beautiful and mysterious and otherworldly and cosmic. I quite enjoy it a lot. Like a lot. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. This is what the backings on the 1st edition look like. So let me go back to the screen and we'll take a look at what the 2nd edition looks like and what the changes are. Because somebody mentioned when they requested this one for hot takes that there are significant changes. So let's just take a look. The art looks mostly the same. Let's see if she talks about what the differences are. New in the 2nd edition. Thank you. This is so helpful, Emma. So new in the 2nd edition, we have a guidebook. Hooray! I feel like this would have really been useful with the 1st edition. She did have the information online, but the guidebook I think will be great for people. So that's awesome. There's a new card back. I do really like the new card back. I think I prefer it over the 1st edition. And unique typesetting for each card. So let me just look at mine again. So it looks like the titles are actually worked kind of more into the artwork, whereas on the original, the title was at the bottom. On this one, the typesetting or the titles are kind of worked into the image. So they're going to be in slightly different spots on each card. That's a really neat effect. I like that. I feel like it adds to the art of the card and makes it feel more borderless in a way. I really like that a lot, actually. That's a really nice change. Oh, sorry. Was there any other changes? I forgot to pay attention. Everything else looks like it might be the same. Cardstock and stuff. Let's see, because I love the cardstock in this edition. I know some people don't like it. It can feel pretty stiff. Let's see if she addresses the cardstock. Yeah, okay. So the cards are printed on... I wish she said how it compared to the 1st edition. So it says 350 GSM art paper with matte lamination and flat blue edge. So this one has a holographic silvery kind of edge. This upcoming edition will have a flat blue edge. Does she show the sides of the deck? No. There's some add-ons now, a notebook. Oh, cool. I love Emma's artwork. I think it's stunning. It's really beautiful. So that's exciting. And if it's up your alley, maybe snap it up, especially if you missed out on the 1st edition and you're really drawn to it. There are complaints from some people about the thicker, stiffer cardstock. I like it. I find it shuffles really nicely. I do riffle and bridge, but I do have pretty strong hands. So, you know, take that as you will. But I really am excited about the 2nd. Obviously, I don't need it. I have the 1st, but I really enjoy this deck a lot. And the Blue Earth Tarot. Okay, I cannot say this word. A cyanotype tarot deck. A meditative 78 card deck created using cyanotype printmaking techniques, which I have no idea what that is, with hand collaged imagery. So I'm assuming she's going to tell us. First of all, we have until September 9th in the morning to back this. So this is relatively new to Kickstarter at the time I'm filming it. It's all very blue. This 78 card fine art tarot deck is made from a photographic printing process called cyanotype and takes inspiration from the natural world. But are you going to tell us what cyanotype is? She doesn't tell us what cyanotype is. I want to know. So the deck suit are traditional. We have water droplets for cups, clouds for swords, sticks for wands, and hands for pentacles. Hands for pentacles is very interesting to me. I would see hands as more wandsy, actually, because of their creation and molding and I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Oh, is she the creator of the Earthchild Tarot? I feel like I've seen that one around. I want to know more about what the cyanotype... Yeah, the Earthchild Tarot was hers. I want to know what the now I can't remember the word. Cyanotype. I want to know what the cyanotype printing process is all about. Anyway, it's all very blue. It's monochromatic, not my style. I tend to not really bond with limited color palette decks, with one exception at the time I'm recording this, which you'll find out about eventually, I'm sure. But typically, I have a hard time with limited color palette decks. But that's cool. There are 33 days to go for funding, so you got lots of time to take a look at it. It is really lovely and gentle looking. It's just not my vibe. It is time to talk about mass market decks. So the first one is the Horror Tarot Deck and Guidebook. This is an Inside Editions deal. I'm not quite sure. The deck doesn't come out until August 9th. I'm not really sure why it already has a 1-star review. Are people like legit just hating on Inside Editions now? Like, I think they're trying to do some really fun things. I just wish they would take their time. That's my main gripe about Inside Editions. I think they're doing really fun, cool pop culture things. I just wish they put more energy into it. This is really creepy, scary looking, which for the Horror Tarot makes so much sense. This is a Minor Arcana card. I'm assuming it's the 9 of Pentacles, ? It's not titled, which is a bummer. I wish it had the title on the card so we knew what we were looking at in this preview image. That would be helpful. But it does look super creepy, scary, which is good. The issue I have lately with Inside Editions decks is that they seem to not really do a good job of disclosing, let's see if they do here, the Minor Arcana cards and what they're going to look like ahead of time. So we tend to see, like here we have an Empress card. We tend to see a lot of majors in the preview images and no minors. So here's a major. We have the Hanged Man. Let me make this smaller again. There we go. Let's go back to the Hanged Man so you can see it better. So there's the Hanged Man. The Fool. The Fool again. The Sun. That is a very creepy it clown for sure. Okay, this is promising. This is promising. I wouldn't pre-order it on this, but this is promising. That to me looks like a 6 of Swords, and it looks scenic. If Inside Editions has been hearing us and is starting to do more scenic pips, I think they would do much, much better. And a lot of us would be quicker to buy their stuff. I mean, the horror thing is not my theme. I mean, don't get me wrong. So I'm just generally griping. But yeah, I think they could do really well. And they're putting out very affordable decks that often feature really fun pop culture references. It'd be great if they started to do more scenic format in their Minor Arcana. I think that would really, really help a lot of people. Nothing wrong with pip decks. Lots of us love pip decks. But we want the pips to be thought through and to have meaning and beauty around them. You know, that's the thing. So anyways, enough of my babbles about the Horror Tarot. Definitely not one I'm going to pick up, so I should stop talking about it now, hey? Yeah. The Urban Crow Oracle. Okay, so this was an indie, and I know a lot of people were really, really, really enjoying it as an indie deck. So I'm excited to see that it's coming out mass market. This one is due to release August 16th, and this is by MJ Cullinane, who did the Crow Tarot and did such an incredible job on that deck. And I really think this is one that's going to go over very, very well. I don't think I did not keep my Crow Tarot. I didn't end up ultimately bonding with it over time, so I did let it go. So this one's not as tempting to me. You don't need the Crow Tarot to work with the Urban Crow Oracle, though. I feel like it would go really well with a lot of modern decks to bring a bit of nature and magic into more modern city-type settings. It is the Urban Crow Oracle, so you see more modern settings like in the backgrounds and things. So that's really, really cool. Not tempting me personally, but very cool. This one is tempting me a little bit, weirdly, because of nostalgia, but I didn't really ever collect Garbage Pail Kids cards like back when I was a kid. They were a little too gross for me. If you guys know, if you know, you know. This is, I believe, another Inside Editions deck. Let's see if they show any of the Minor Arcana. I think I have seen some videos on YouTube, though, so I think Inside Editions is sending out PR to some YouTube content creators to have them show their decks before they come out, which is great. I hope they do that. That's amazing. Okay, here's a 9 of Wands, and it's scenic. That's very, very exciting. That's a very classic RWS style scene in the 9 of Wands, and we have a preview of it on the Amazon page. Like, amazing. I'm so excited that that's happening. That probably sounded so condescending, but like it is an exciting thing to see that change. So that's really good. I hope the whole Minor Arcana is like that. I have not watched the walkthroughs of the deck on YouTube because I knew I was probably going to be covering it in this hot takes video and I didn't want to spoil myself. But I will say Garbage Pail Kids is such a specific piece of nostalgia for a lot of us. I never collected them. Again, they were pretty gross, but these look kind of like tamer Garbage Pail Kids, which is kind of exciting. And I do wish they had their funny names on the card. Like with the Garbage Pail Kids, you'd open up the packet and you'd get like this handful of cards and I think gum or something, I don't know. And then there'd be a funny, punny kind of title to the card, like a name for whoever was on the card. So it was like collecting baseball cards, but they were Garbage Pail Kids. And they were kind of a play on the fact that the Cabbage Patch Kids were such a huge thing in like the 80s, I feel like they came out. I want to say like early 80s, somewhere around there. Anyway, they were a play on those. And so they were like Cabbage Patch doll kid things for like people into gross stuff. You know, they were hitting that gross, icky kid fascination thing, while the super cute, adorable Cabbage Patch Kids were such a craze. Anyways, this one actually looks kind of fun. I am a little bit tempted by this one, actually, especially if, I'm definitely going to go watch a walkthrough now, but especially if the Minor Arcana is more RWS scenic, that would definitely be more tempting. If for no other reason than that it's so different and funky and has so much personality. Yeah. Yeah, kind of excited about the idea of this. Yeah. So we will see. We will see. It could be really, really good. There's also a Garbage Pail Kids calendar sitting up here that Amazon is now recommending me, which is amazing. Anyway, this is due for release August 30th. Next up is the Lord of the Rings Tarot Deck and Guide. Now this is another, I think this is another Inside Editions. Yes, it's another Inside Editions. And this is part of the problem, I think. They're putting out so many decks, which is fun, but also like so fast. So fast. This is, wait a minute. I feel like this was out already. No. Okay, so this is the same illustrator who did the Labyrinth Tarot that Inside Editions did. Perfect illustrator for a Lord of the Rings aesthetic. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I also think that he tends to do more beautiful looking pips. My concern would be, I happen to know a couple of people hardcore into the Labyrinth, one of whom is Danny Mystic, who got this deck, got the Labyrinth Tarot by the same artist, by Inside Editions, and a lot of the associations didn't really work. Like, I'm not sure, does the Hanged Man, I don't know. I don't know, but we do get an idea of what the Minor Arcana is going to look like. Again, thank you for showing us. I feel like that's really good. We need to see that. The Ace of Rings, so the rings is going to be a suit. Some of these decks, I think, really are meant to be more collectibles. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe this is the punchline at the end of the day. They're not necessarily meant for, maybe they're not necessarily meant to be used as tarot, but maybe meant to be more pop culture collectibles. Like a tarot thing, a tarot in the theme of whatever your pop culture thing is. Maybe that's the point. And if that's the point, maybe I need to like cool my jets a little bit. But like, I want them to have meaning. Now, the Lord of the Rings is something that I enjoy, but I'm not a hardcore fan of. So we will see. I will probably have a lot more to say when we get closer to the release date of the Inside Editions Buffy deck, because that is a fandom of mine. And I will have opinions, and it really, really needs. If by any chance anybody at Inside Editions watches this video, please make the Buffy deck scenic in the minors. Like, scenes, interactions between characters. Pretty please. Even if you have to be creative, like maybe you're not licensed to put the actual like people from the show in the Minor Arcana. Maybe there's a problem there with licensing. But if there is, please try to just spend some time. Spend some extra time on the minors. Make them as do a good job. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm so hopeful. But I'm really managing my expectations for the Buffy deck, but I really, really want it to be a good deck. That's what I have to say. I know we're not talking about the Buffy. We're supposed to be talking about Lord of the Rings, and I'm sorry to all of you Lord of the Rings fans for not doing this justice. But, I mean, I really liked The Hobbit, watched and read lots of times. But after The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings kind of falls apart for me. So I don't know a lot of the, like, bigger references for, like, the rest of the story. You know what I mean? I think I've only read the actual Lord of the Rings books once. Pretty sure. And I may not have even fully finished them. There's a chance that I didn't fully finish them. Mind you, I don't think I started DNFing, like not finishing books, until like pretty recently, like the last couple years. So there's a chance that I forced myself to finish it, but I don't remember enjoying it. I remember there was a lot of like battles. And battles, I lose interest. Okay, anyways, moving on. The Trick or Treat Tarot. There were so many requests for this one. So this is the deck coming out by Barbara Moore and Jonathan Hunt. It is a fun Halloween-themed tarot. Oh, there's like no images. Somebody said that there are also some pop culture references here. Like, is that somebody from The Matrix? I feel like that might be somebody from The Matrix. So there might be some interesting, like... Oh, here we go. Here's some more pictures. Yeah, I feel like this is meant to have a bunch of pop culture references that I probably wouldn't get because I'm terrible with that kind of thing. But it's a Halloween-themed guidebook. a Halloween themed tarot, which is super fun. I love that Llewellyn's doing one of these. I think that's amazing. And Barbara Moore does wonderful guidebooks, so I'm sure it will be great. Definitely, whoa, I accidentally zoomed in. This is definitely not one I'm overly tempted to scoop up because I'm good. In the Halloween genre, I feel like I'm so good. I have my zombie tarot, I have my boo tarot, I have my Halloween oracle, and I've been trimming down that section because there's other things I like to work with at that time of year, like the Deviant Moon, and I want to keep it like nice and tight for my seasonal, like my very specific to the Halloween season decks, because I want to really enjoy the things I do use during that time period. So I'm not adding anything in this category right now, but I'm going to probably really enjoy the heck out of a well done walkthrough video on this deck. So if you get this deck and you know the pop culture references especially, and you do a walkthrough, DM me on Instagram or Facebook or something and let me know so that I can watch your video, because I would probably really enjoy watching the video on the deck. I just don't think I need it. The Stranger Things tarot. Is this the third Inside Editions deck coming out in August? I feel like it is, because we had the Lord of the Rings, we had the Horror Tarot, and now we have Stranger Things. They're coming out just so fast. Like, yeah. I have really enjoyed Stranger Things. I have still to watch the very last episode, which I need to sit down and do. I love her, obviously, as the High Priestess. I think that really works. And we do have an example of a Minor Arcana card. Again, why can't I say that? And we do have an example of a Minor Arcana card here, so that's great. Nine of Strands definitely looks like Pippi, for sure. It's an interesting image, though, because... yeah, it's an interesting image. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see. Are there more card images down below? No, there are none. No more previews. So, we really don't know. And it's coming out really soon. I'm not going to pick up any fandom around Stranger Things. I really enjoy the show, but not enough to like want to collect things around it, if that makes sense. So this is a no-go for me. And this is our very, very last deck. So I made it through that relatively unscathed. That is it for hot takes. That was a lot. I feel like we did a lot. I know that there was somewhere between 20 and 30. I can't remember the exact number, but we covered a lot of decks coming out in the upcoming month or currently open for pre-order or whatnot. I feel like I made it through pretty good. I don't think I was overly tempted, although I'm still agonizing about my level of backing on the 78 Tarot Magical. I'm still considering, do I want the full size? Do I want the books? Like, do I want to change that up? I think I'm probably going to stick with the pockets, but we'll see. We'll see. And there's a couple others that I'm definitely keeping my eye on, but there were none this time that I was like, I must buy this right now. I feel like if I didn't already have a prototype of the Song of the Grandmothers, though, that one would definitely be one that I'd be like, yeah, let me just scoop that up. If I didn't already have the Dream Vision Tarot, I feel like I'd scoop that up. And same thing with the Oak, Ash, and Thorn Mini. But in any case, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. As always, I would love to hear what things you're most excited about that I've covered here. I'm sorry if I didn't get to everything. I feel like the list always gets out of control every month, and I do my best to get to as many things as I can. But these do run quite long, so I'll have to leave it here. I always do my best to get to as many of these as possible from your guys' requests. I really appreciate that you take the time to make those requests, because it helps me to know what you want me to cover. If you want me to cover something you're interested in, then be sure and keep an eye on the community tab so that next month when I make this video, you see the post where I ask for your suggestions. And be sure and upvote each other's, because then I know what people are most interested in, which really helps me to make those decisions also. So thank you so much for joining me. As always, an extra special big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. They are the supporters of the channel, and your guys' support really means everything to me. It really truly does. It's why I can do so much of what I do here and continue to do it, and to feel supported in it is really meaningful, and I never want to lose touch of that. So thank you so much. To all of you watching the channel, thank you so much for being here, for spending your time here, putting your eyeballs on this space, clicking the like button, the subscribe button, commenting, hitting the bell, all the kinds of things that you guys do to support what I do here. It really means a lot. This would be no fun in an echo chamber. I really like having the conversations and seeing your guys' comments and interacting with you all and sharing our mutual love and appreciation of tarot and oracle decks. It's what makes this so much fun to do, and I appreciate you all so much. As always, I'm sending you much love, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!